Hope you all are doing good. In this video, we'll be discussing about UPSC Prelims GS Paper 2, which is conducted in the year 2015. And in this video, I'll be giving the complete paper explanation. Okay, let's get into the video. So, coming to the first passage. Human history abounds in claims and theories confining the rights of governing to a few selected citizens. Exclusion of the many is justified on the ground that human beings may be rightfully segregated for the good of the society and the viability of the political process. So, from this passage, what it is asking from the following passage, find out the least essential part of the argument. So, the question is, we have to find out the least essential part of the argument. So, this passage is completely about the humans' history, which are being in the societies. Okay, how they are being classified and what are things to be taken. So now coming to the options, we have to find out the least essential part. First one is man seeks control over external things affecting him. Second one, in society there are super and subhuman beings. Third one, exceptions to universal citizens participation are conducive to systemic efficacy. And D, governing implies recognition of the disparities in the individual capacities. So, all these arguments we have to find out which one is correct. So, from all the things, from the above arguments, A is correct because man seeks control over external things that are affecting him. Okay, because people are being segregated. Okay, and people are being segregated according to different types. So he wants to seek control over external things that are affecting him. Okay, so from all these segregations, he want a control from all external things. So for the passage one, for the question number one, the answer is A. I'm coming to the second passage. By 2025, the Earth population will likely have swollen from 7 to 9 billion people. Okay, so this passage is about the Earth's population, which is been increasing. So by 2050, the population is like to be swollen, which means be grown up. Okay, into 9 billion, and also have gone through this passage, and this passage says that regarding the nutrition and also food production, and also regarding the crops, whatever it may be, everything has to be grown up. So this is the passage, and the question regarding the passage is second one. Which one of the following statement best sum up the above passage? Okay, so which one of the following statement, the four statements, which one is he able to add some more extra information or extra thing to the passage? Okay, we shall see now. The population of the world is growing very fast. Okay, second one, food security is perennial problem only in the developing countries. Third one, the world does not have enough resources to meet the pending food scarcity. Okay, and the fourth one, food security is increasingly a collective challenge. So, which one is the best thing to add up? From the second question, the option D is good to add up some more information to the passage, some of the best. Okay, all these are giving suggestions, but this fourth option is giving extra information that should be added. What is that? Food security is increasingly a collective challenge. Okay. So, which is going to happen by 2025? That is giving information there. So, for the question number 2, the answer is D is correct. And coming to the passage 3. Many people in India feel that if we are cut our defense expenditure on weapon building, we can create a climate of peace with our neighbors. Okay, I have gone through the passage. This passage is about the uh, defense expenditure. So in our India, there is some budget for the defense, right? So we hear this passage saying that if we reduce the amount which is being spent on the defense, and that amount should be spent over the peace and making some no war and also peace arguments. It says that somewhat sit and solve the problems. So it is giving the suggestions like this. So stop making more investments on different things and defense expenditure, and make that expenditure to use for the other resources, other things. It is saying that. So here the question is third one. With reference to the above passage, what is the following is the most valid assumption? Okay, valid information assumption. What is that? So building of weapon systems by us has instigated our neighbors to wage wars against us. Okay, and B, the greater spending on weapon building by us would lessen the possibility of armed conflicts with our neighbors. That is also good. And C, it is necessary to have state of art weapon system for national security. That is also good assumption. And fourth one, many people in India believe that we are wasting our resources on the weapon building. So these all are somewhat good, but most valid one is B. For the question number 3, the answer is B. The greater spending on weapon building by us would lessen the possibility of armed conflicts with our neighborings. Okay. See, if we have more good advanced weapons only, other countries will be getting frightened of us, and there will not be that much possibility coming and fighting war with us. So this is the most valid assumption regarding the passage. And coming to the passage 4. India accounts for neatly a fifth of the world's child death. In terms of numbers, it is the highest in the world, nearly 16 lakhs every year. Okay, this passage is about the children's death. Okay, all children's death, and India is in the place of fifth one regarding the children's death. So small children are being dying, and what are the things? What are the problems of the reasons that we are not able to safeguard the children? So I have gone through this passage. You also give a quick reading. So uh, coming to the question, which is the critical interference that can be made from the above passage? Okay, most information, critical information that we can get from the passage. Okay, so that is information what we are getting. That is a report in the question number 4, and the options are a lot of Indians are illiterate and hence do not recognize the values of basic health practices. Okay. Second one, India has very huge population, and the government alone cannot manage public health service. Next, universalization and integration of maternal health and child health service can effectively address the problems. And fourth one is the nutrition of women in child bearing age does not affect child mortality rate. So these all are somewhat close related to the passage, but most critical interference is that is third one, which means option C. For the question number 4, option C is correct. Because universalization and integration of maternal health and child health service can effectively address the problems. Yes, these by improving these terms only, the child health, why, what are the main reasons, they can identify the problems, and it will be easy for us to overcome them. So question number 4, the option is C. And coming to the passage 5, which is question number 5. Food travels more than the people who eat them. Grocery stores and supermarkets are loaded with preserved and processed food. Okay, the passage is saying that food is traveling more than the people who eat them, because this food what we get from grocery stores and supermarkets, they will be coming from different places, traveling from different places, right? So I have gone through this passage, and this passage says that the food is being stored, kept in the big refrigerators and processing, packaging, everything. So that also is it is a reason for causing health problems, because the more stored food, stagnated food we eat now, that will be somewhat giving health conscious and health problems to us, right? So next, for the question, what is it is asking? With reference to the above passage, which of the following statement is true? Okay, which of the following statement is true? Consuming regionally grown food and not depending on the long traveled food uh, is a part of eco-friendly behavior. That is good. Second one, food processing industry puts a burden on our natural resources. Okay, this is also reason. So for here, what is asking? Which of the following statements are true? Among these true, what are the statements? Yes, both are true, right? Both the statements are true. So for the question number 5, the answer C is correct. Okay. Next. Next, coming to question number 6. The authors say, okay, this sixth question is also regarding the passage. Okay. Uh, Next, coming to the passage. I must say, beyond occasionally exposing me to the laughter, my constitutional shyness has been of no disadvantage whatever. So, in fact, I can feel that on the contrary, it has been all to my advantage. So, this passage is regarding about the somewhat self behavior of one of the person, the author, who is describing about himself. Okay, who is describing about himself, about his behavior, and what are the problems he has faced, and what are things to be talked or not to be talked, everything. Okay, so here I have gone through this passage and coming to the questions, right? The author says that the thoughtless word hardly ever escapes his tongue or pen. Which one of the following is not a valid reason for this? The author says the thoughtless word hardly ever escapes his tongue or pen. So, his thoughtless words, which means without the thoughts, his words cannot come, right? So, without what we think, we cannot speak. Okay. So, which one of the following is not a valid reason, not related to this argument? Okay. Sixth one, option A. He has no intention to waste of his time. He believes in the economy of words. He believes in the restraining his thoughts. He has hesitancy in his speech. So the thoughtless words, okay, never escapes. So if he's having no thought, he can't speak. So he has no intention to waste his time. So for the question number 6, the answer is A. Without his thoughts, he can speak or put a pen. So this indicates that he has no intention to waste of his time. And question number 7, the most appropriate reason for the author to be spread many a mishap is that. Uh, Mishap means, here the word mishap, the meaning of mishap is a small amount of mistake which is giving a bad luck. With the help of by small mistakes, somewhat great opportunity are missing. Okay. So the most appropriate reason for the author to spread many mishap is that A. Hardly utters to writes a thoughtless word. He is a man of immense patience. He believes that he is a spiritual person. He is a votary of truth. So for the seventh one, somewhat A is related. He hardly utters or writes a thoughtless words. Okay. So with that reasons only, mishaps are happening for him, right? He hardly utters or writes a thoughtless words. Without thinking, he speak or he writes something, and that leads to a big mistake. So for the question number 7, the answer A is correct. And question number 8, for the author, silence is necessary in order to surmount. Silence is necessary for him for what? A constitutional shyness, hesitancy in speech, suppression of thoughts, tendency to overtaste. So he is being silent because the option is D, tendency to overstate. Okay, so he is being mostly times he started to be silenced because first three reasons are reasons for him. Okay, and D is the realization, tendency to overstate. So not to happen any mishap, he want to keep the silence. So for the question number 8, the answer D is correct. And now coming to the question number, question number 9. 12 people, 12 people in a club. Okay, 12 people from a club. By picking a lots, one of them will host a dinner for all once in a month. The number of dinners a particular member has to host in 1 year. Okay, the question number is 9. So there are 12 persons, 12 people from a club. By picking lots, one of them will host a dinner for all once in a month. The number of dinners a particular member has to host in a 1 year. So there are 12 people in a club. Okay, so they are putting a lots, which means some lots that who has to give a dinner. Okay, so every month they put a lot, and whose name comes in that lot, he has to give a dinner. So here the question is asked that how many dinners a particular person can do. Okay, among the 12 persons throughout the year, how many dinners a person can get. Obviously we cannot identify this because since it is a lot, we cannot assume that whose name is going to get. Okay, every month it is an independent, right? So they are not alternately setting one by another. So every month it is a lot. So we don't know, we can't imagine that we cannot identify that whose name is going to come out. So it cannot be predicted. So for the question number 9, the answer is D. It cannot be predicted. Okay. And coming to the question number 10. An automobile owner reduced his monthly petrol consumption when the price went up. The price consumption relation is as follows. Okay, so there is an automobile company and the owner, he is getting every month some amount of petrol. Okay, some amount of petrol he is getting to his automobile showroom. So whenever the price is high, he used to reduce the liters. Okay, he used to reduce the quantity of petrol. Okay, see in the question, price in liters and monthly consumption in liters. So price in liters. Okay, so if it is 40 liters, he used to get 60. If it is 40, if 1 liter of petrol is 40, he used to get 60 liters. If 1 liter is next month, if 1 liter is becoming 50, he used to get 48 liters. And next month, if the price is increasing, for 1 liter it is 60, he used to get 40 liters. And next month, when the price increases to 75, 1 liter is 75 rupees, and he used to get only 32 liters. So next, if the price goes up rupees 80 per liter, his expected consumption liters will be. So for 40 is getting 60, 50, 48, 60, 40, 75, 32. And now if the price is about 80, if the 1 liter of the petrol is 80, so how many liters he will be getting for that month? So now it is just simple calculation only. First month 40 liters, right? So 1 liter is 40 and he is getting 60. So 40 into 60, we get 2400. And second month 1 liter is 50 and 48 liters. So 50 into 48, same thing, 2400. And again 60 into 40, that is also 2400. 75 into 32, that is also 2400. So with this we can assume that an automobile owner is fixing an amount of 2400 for the purchase of petrol, whatever may be, however the price may be, how much the amount of petrol is getting for 2400, he is getting that much. So next we have to calculate every month. It is by this assumption we can conclude that he is spending 2400. So now again same thing, 2400 divided by 80. If we divide 2400 divided by 80, we get answer 30. So same thing. So for 80 liters, so if the cost of 1 liter is 80, he used to get 30 liters. Okay. So for the question number 10, the answer is 30. Option A. To come into the 11th question. Consider the following. Okay. To fit the question mark, the correct answer is okay. So here are in the top four boxes, there are a symbol and a fifth box is empty question mark. We have to fill that box now. So if we observe the first four boxes which have shape, okay, in this we are having dots, circle, triangle and a square. These symbols are placed at different sides. Okay, now first we have to assume that the shape as a clock. Assume it as a clock. If we assume this shapes as a clock, it is a T, right? So in a clock, how do we get? We get 9 o'clock. In a clock there will be 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Now in this, with this shape we can understand it is 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. No 12 o'clock is there here. So 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So if you see, if you look at the shape of uh, in this picture, look at the dot, look at the dot shape. See, this dot shape is moving in the anti-clockwise direction, reverse clock. So first black dot is at 9 o'clock, and in the second box the black dot is at 6 o'clock, and in the third box the black dot is at 3 o'clock, and again it has to it has to be at 9 o'clock. So it was there. Now coming back, the dots are moving in the anti-clockwise directions. First dot is 9 o'clock, second dot is 6 o'clock, and third dot is 3 o'clock, and in the fourth box the black dot is at 9 o'clock, and in the next box it has to be at 6 o'clock. Okay, so the black dot should be at 6 o'clock. So in the options, how many are there? There are two, right? A and C. Now regarding this A and C, we have to find out one. And now coming back to the triangles, if we get to the triangle shapes which is above the black dot in the box, so they are moving in the clockwise direction, right? Only triangles are moving in the clockwise direction. First triangle is at 9 o'clock, and second triangle, inverse triangle, okay, they are moving in the clockwise direction, and also in the reverse triangles also. First one is straight, second, in the second box the triangle is down. So oh, first triangle moving in the clockwise direction, and second triangle is at 3 o'clock moving to the downwards, and the third triangle is at 6 o'clock moving to the upwards, and the same thing beside that moving downwards, and next it had to move to the upwards. So it has to be the upwards. So with this with this assumption, we can conclude that next triangle should be on the same thing, 9 o'clock, and it should be upward. So here the option is A, we can conclude. Okay, with these two assumptions we can conclude that for the 11th question the answer is A. Okay, now coming to the 12th question. Consider the following matrix. Okay, 3, 6, 8, 56, 10, 90, 2, 2, question mark 20, 1, 0. So what is the missing number at the question mark in the matrix? Okay, so this is also a simple question. Here if you look at the first two boxes, 3 and 6, 3 and 6, first we have to consider 3. 3 into 2 we get 6. 3 into 2, because we are taking 3 and 3 previous number, 1 to 3, right? So what is the previous number of 3? That is 2. So 2 into 3 we get 6. Come to the next box, 8 and 56. 8 previous number, 7. 7 into 8, 56. Okay, next 10 and 90. 10 previous number, 9. 9 into 10, 90. 2 and 2. 2 previous number, 1. 1 into 2, 2. In the same way we have to find 20. Number should be beside. If we consider 5, 5 previous number, 4. 5 into 4, 20. So there the number 5 should be there. So for the question 5A. Okay, for the question number 12 the answer is A, 5. Number 13. Here the question number 13, that is also simple. So what is the missing number of x in the series? So there are 5 numbers, 7, x, 21, 31 and 43. So here we have to find what is the x. If we do 43 minus 31, 43 minus 31, we get a 12. 31 minus 21, we get a 10. So Here down we are getting the difference of number, that is 2. The two difference number we are getting. First we got a 12 and the second we got a 10, and next difference 21 minus x we have to get 8, and x minus 7 we have to get 6. So x minus 7 we are getting 6, right? If we add that 6 plus 7, that is 13, and 21 minus x we have to get, we are getting 8, right? So 21 minus 8, if we minus 21 minus 8 we get 13. So 7 plus 6 we are getting 13, and 21 minus 8 we are getting 13. So that the number x should be 13. Okay, so for the question number 13 the answer is 13, that is C. And coming to the question number 14, 4 cardboard pieces of a specific shape are shown in the following figure. So 4 cardboard pieces of a specific shapes. Here we can see 2 rectangles and 2 triangles that should be arranged in a together. Okay, so which figure is merging correctly? I hope the figure D is good, because 2 rectangles are perfectly one above the other. Rest all of the figures are not rectangles. Okay, not equally there. So the option D will be, because and those triangles are placed at different ends that are fixed. Okay, but in the question it are rectangle figures, and option D is the correct match for it. Okay, and coming to the next question. Okay, next 15th question. In a test, a candidate attempts only 8 questions and scores 50% of marks in each of the question. If you obtained a total of 40% in the test and all questions in the test carried equal marks, how many questions are there in a test? So there is a test, and the candidate is getting, he attempted only 8 questions in the test. Okay, for 8 questions he is getting 50% of marks only. So for 8 questions he is getting 50% of marks only. Okay, so we don't know what is the exact marks of the questions. So for 8 questions he is getting, if you look at the solution board, for 8 questions he is getting 50%, and 8 into 1 by 2. I have written this 50% is in the terms of 1 by 2. 8 into 1 by 2. 8 into 1 by 2 we get to 4. So for 8 questions he is getting 4 marks. Okay, that is fine. I will come back to questions. If you obtain the total of 40% in the test, so these 4 marks are the marks, the total. If coming to the total, these 4 marks are considered as a 40%. Okay, these 4 marks, if you obtain a total of 40% in the test and all questions in the test carried equal marks. Okay, how many questions were there? Okay, so he attempted only 8 questions. For 8 questions he got only 4 marks, and that 4 marks, that is the required as a total among 100% test, that includes the 40%. Among 100% the test, the 4 marks are included as a 40%. Okay, so now we have to find out the number of questions. We don't know the number of questions. Therefore, the number of questions we don't know, since we term it as x. So if we calculate 4 by x, that is equal to 40 by 100. So same thing, the 40 percentage I have written as in a 40 by 100. 40 percentage I have written as 40 by 100. So since these 4 marks are equal to 40 percentage, right? So 4 by x is equal to 40 by 100, and if we calculate, 0 0 will be cancelled, and 4 4 also will be cancelled, and therefore x is equal to 10. So here X is equal to 10. So there are number of questions. How many questions are there? 10 questions are there. So the 15th question, the answer is B. So for the 15th question, the answer is B. Coming to the 16th. A father is 9 times old as his son and a mother is 8 times as old as the son. Okay. The and the sum of the father's and mother's age is 51 years, and what is the age of the son? Now we have to find out the age of the son. Father's, so since we don't know, let us consider the age of son is X. Father's age is, since it is 9 times, we turn it as 9x. And mother's age, it is 8 years, we turn it as 8x. So in the question, the sum of the father's and the mother's age is 51. So we can write it as the sum of the father's and mother age is 51. So sum of father 9x plus 8x is equal to 51. From the above, from the given information, we can write 9x plus 8x is equal to 51. And if we calculate 9x plus 8x, it is 17x. So 17x is equal to 51. And from x, we can calculate 51 by 17. X is equal to 51 by 17. And if we make x is equal to 3 years, 17 3s are 51. Okay. So the answer is 3 years. So the age of the son is 3 years. And next, coming to the question number 17. Next, coming to the 17. 4 persons A, B, C, and D consisting of 2 married couples. Okay. Among these 4 people A, B, C, D, there are 2 married couples. Okay. Both the women are shorter than their respective husbands. So both the women are shorter. A is tallest among the 4. Okay. A is the tallest one. C is taller than B. C is the taller than B. And D is B's brother. Okay. D is B's brother. In this context, which one of the following statement is not correct? So if you look at the explanation part, A, B, C, D are 4 persons, right? Both women are short. Okay. Both women are short. A is taller. So since A is taller, we can term it as, we call him as husband male. Okay. And D is brother to B. D is brother to B. So D is a brother to B and D is also a male. Okay. And in the statement, D is married to C. Okay. D is married to C. So therefore C and B are females. C and B are females. And A and B are married. A and B are married. So for the here the statements what is given, which is the not correct statement? All 4 have family ties. Option A. That is good. A, B, C, D are having family ties. That is not. B is the shortest among 4. Yes, B is the shortest among the 4. That is also true statement. Because B is a woman and she is the shortest one. C is taller than D. C is taller than D. Uh, B are husband. That is also true statement. C is taller than B. C is a woman. Okay. C is a woman. B and C are female and they are short, right? So D is a husband. She is a woman. C, that should be a wrong statement. So from the above statements, option for the question number 17, the answer C is correct. That is not a correct statement. Next, consider the following statements. 18th question. A man had a wife, 2 sons, and 2 daughters in his family. A man had a wife, 2 sons, and 2 daughters. Okay, totally 5 are there. And the second statement, the daughters were invited to the feast, and the male members of the family went out to take part in the picnic. So the daughters were invited to fest. Daughters went for the fest, and the male members, father and the two sons, are taken out for the picnic. And they are out. And the third statement: the man's father did not return from his work. So from this statement, we can conclude that the man is also not at the picnic. Only two male members are at the picnic. Okay, because the man father is at work. So here, what is this? Which statement? Which of the following statement is true? Only the man's wife was left home. Only the man's wife was left home. It's likely that the man's wife was left at home. Uh, See, none of them was left at home. More than one person was left at home. So, among the statement, we can conclude that two daughters went for the fest, two sons went for the picnic, and the father is at the work. So, in the statement about mother, it was not clearly mentioned that uh, that man's wife was completely statement was given that she was left at home. So we cannot strongly assume that only man's wife was left at home. It was, so we can conclude as a second one is the correct answer. For 18th question, the answer B is correct because it is likely that the man's wife was left at home. Okay. So in the passage, since it was the information regarding the wife at home was not given, so we are assuming that, okay, likely that the man's wife was left at home. Next, Naresh has become a better boxer since he started meditation. Geeta is saying that Naresh has become a better boxer since he started meditation. Next, Radha is saying that impossible. A boxer must a boxer's most important asset is his aggressiveness. So Geeta is saying that he became a better boxer since he started meditation, but Radha is saying that no, the boxer's most asset is his aggressiveness. So next, Radha's statements reflects her belief that Radha statements reflects her belief that. So among the Radha statement, what are among the statements, which statement is reflecting the Radha's one? Okay, meditation tends to make a person's less aggressiveness. Meditation has little or no effect on the persons who practice it. Naresh was a poor boxer earlier because he was not aggressive enough. Naresh would have not taken to meditation as he was a boxer. Okay. So Radha statements reflects regarding this one is A because meditation tends to make a person's legs less aggressiveness. Radha wants the boxer to be aggressive. Okay, Radha wants the boxer to be aggressive. So she indirectly says that meditation tends a person's less aggressive. So for the question number 19, the answer is A is correct. And next question number 20. All good athletes wants to win and all athletes who want to win eat a well balanced diet. All athletes want to win and all athletes who want to win they will be maintaining a well balanced diet. Therefore, all athletes who do not eat a well balanced diet are bad athletes. Okay, so not eating well balanced, they are bad athletes. So among this, the best conclusion is no bad athletes want to win. No athletes who does not eat a well balanced diet is a good athlete, and every athlete who eats a well balanced diet is a good athlete. All athletes who want to win are good athletes. So Best conclusion, which statement is regarding the B? No athlete who does not eat a well balanced diet is a good athlete. Okay, those who eat a good balanced diet only, they become a good athlete. So from the question number 20, we can conclude that the answer is B. Question number 21. The richer states have a responsibility to cut down the carbon emission and promote clean energy investments. Are the states that got electricity, grew faster, and now have high per capita income. Okay, here to cut down the carbon emissions. The richer states are responsible to cut down the carbon emissions and promote clean energy. Here, carbon emissions are what? Carbon dioxide, methane, and the gases which are in the atmosphere. They are the carbon emissions. Okay, and uh, the richer states are cutting down all these gases. Okay, because how? With the help of fossil fuels. With the help of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are nothing but natural things which are occurred, okay, and non-renewable, which are coal, oil, petroleum. These are gases which are getting from the natural. These fossil fuels, by using them, the carbon emission is very high. So the richer states are making the carbon emission is very high. So from among all this passage, by the heavy use of fossil fuels, the carbon emission is very high regarding the richer states. So now the question, which among the following is the most logical and rational assumption that can be made from the above passage? What is it? Richer states must lead the production and adoption of renewable energy. The poor states always have to depend on the rich state for electricity. The state electricity board can improve their finance by undertaking clean energy projects. The high economic disparity between the rich and the poor states is the major cause of high carbon emission in India. So, for the question number 21, the answer A is correct. The richer states must lead in the production and adoption of renewable energy. So, instead of making use of all these fossil fuels which are available from the natural resources, the richer states should think about the renewable energy, which means solar energy. Okay, with this has to be adopted, and with this also the carbon emission will be which are in the very clean in the atmosphere. Okay, for the question number 21, the answer A is correct. And coming to the question number 22. Set against a ruler backdrop, strength of kerosene is a story of a couple, Guleri and Manak. Okay, this is the story about the scent of kerosene. I have gone through this passage, and this is the story about the couple, Guleri and Manak. So I have gone through this passage, and this Manak will be getting second married because this Guleri and Manak were wife and husband, and since Guleri can't give birth to children, this Manak will be getting another second marriage. Okay, since his family or grandmother will be forcing him, and he will be getting to he will getting married to another one, and that time he get a child. So that can't be digested by the first wife, Guleri, and said she will be setting a fire. Okay, kerosene. She pour out the kerosene and she'll be setting out a fire. So among this passage, that was the thing I understood. And coming to the question number 22. This is the sensitive issue based story which tries to synthesize the readers about male chauvinism, male chauvinism and uh, identity, love and betrayal, lack of legal safeguarding for women, influence of patriarchal mindset. Yes, that is the influence of patriarchal mindset only because since her husband has got married with another child, uh, she can't digest it and she'll be doing these things. So for the question number 22, the answer D is correct. Okay, and next 23. That is also regarding the passage only. The ultimate aim of government is not to rule or control by fear, not to demand obedience, but controversially to free every man from fear that he may live in all possible securities. Yes, that is a so here the ultimate aim of government is to maintain good governance, and everyone should be free from all the distracts, everything that should be taken care by the government. That is the aim of the government. So here the passage on the following most logical and rational interference is that the true aim of the government is to secure the citizen their social and the political freedom. B. The primary concern of the government is to provide absolute social security to all its citizens. The best government is the one that allows the citizen to enjoy absolute liberty in all the matters of life. The best government is the one which provides absolute physical security to the people of a country. So all these four assumptions are somewhat little bit logical, but the most thing is that yeah, the true aim of the government is to secure their social and the political freedom. Okay, and next coming to the passage 4, which is the question number 24. Municipal corporations are understaffed. The issue of skills and competencies of the staff poses an even greater challenge. So the municipal corporations are understaffed. No staff is being perfectly, which means completely. There is a scarcity of staff. Okay, and regarding the requirement, cadres, allocation, everything is somewhat making challenges. And if you read the passage, you'll be able to get some idea regarding the issue. And I'll be going with the question. For the question number 24, which one of the following is the most logical rational assumption that be made for the above passage? That is, the task of providing urban service is a complex issue which requires the municipal organization, expansion of the municipal bodies all over the country. Our cities can provide better quality of life in our local government bodies, have adequate staff with required skills and competencies. Lack of skilled staff is due to the absence of institutions which offer the requisite skills in many city management. Our country is not taking advantage of the demographic divided to manage the problems associated with the rapid urbanization. So for the question number 24, the answer B is correct because our cities can provide better quality full of lives. Local government bodies have adequate staff. So here, since the lack of staff only, all these things are being not taking place, right? So our cities can be provided better quality if there is a good staff, and the staff will be taking care of all the respected departments and places. Okay. So for the question number 24, the answer is B. And next passage 5. Flamingos is a large flocks in the wild are social and extremely loyal. They perform a group mating dance. Parents are very fond of their chicks, gathering them into the cheese for protection, while both male and female fly off to the search of it. Okay, the flamingos. It is a bird, which is a tall white bird, which has a long neck and legs. Okay, which is having long neck and long necks, long legs. With the long neck, it will be able to deeply get into the water and find out the food, finding out the food for the children. So this passage about the flamingos regarding the birds. And which of the following is the most logical correlate about the passage? Mass nesting in all species of birds is essential to ensure complete survival of their offspring. Only birds have the capacity to develop the social behavior and thus can do mass nesting of the rise of their chicks in safely. Social behavior in some species of birds increase the odds of survival in an unusual and safe world. All species of birds set off church for their chicks to teach them social behavior and loyalty. So for this social, for the question number 25, the answer C is somewhat logical. Social behavior in some species of birds increase the odds of survival in unsafe world. Okay, with this passage, these flamingos are somewhat very much careful regarding their chicks, and they'll be flying different places for the in search of food. That times other others will be somewhat very careful. So for the question number 25, the answer is C. Oh, again passage. Question number 26. Question number 26. Vast number of Indian cities without bank accounts lives in the rural areas are financially and functionally illiterate. See, this 26 question is regarding the uh, thing that vast number of Indian citizens without bank accounts are in rural areas. In rural areas, most of the Indians are not having bank accounts, and if they need any financial things, they'll be taking amount from the landlords. So the scheme called Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, okay, that used to pay directly, and which electronic wage payment. With the help of the scheme, electronic wage payments are done in most of the rural areas. So the scheme Mahatma Gandhi MGNREGS. So this scheme, which is being started for the illiterates to make a electronic payments. Okay, so directly before also they used to get the directly from the cash from the landlords if they do any work. But with this scheme, electronic payments were done to the most of the citizens who are living in rural areas. So now regarding the question, what is the most logical, rational, and crucial message that is implied in the above passage? Uh, Question number A. MGNREGS should be extended only to those who have bank account, and the paper-based system of payments is more efficient than electronic payments in the present scenario. The goal of electronic wage payments was not to eliminate mediation by the village leaders. It is essential to provide the financial literacy to the rural people. Yes, this is the main importance of this scheme. MGNREGS is to provide the financial literacy to the rural people. So for the question number 26, the answer D is correct. Okay. Now coming to the question number 27. In leaders who promote human development operate under the strong institutional structures and the political constraints. So individual groups and people who are uh, people who individual groups, they will be under the leaders. Individual groups and leaders who promote human development operates under the strong institution and the structural and the political constraints. So many of the groups, they will be under the big institutions and the political constraints. Okay. But experience suggests the board principle for shaping an appropriate agenda for human development. So I've gone through this passage, and this passage is that regarding the human development, so many of them are depending upon few of the institutions and few of the group of peoples. Okay, what I understood from the passage, and if you go through the passage, you also get some idea, and I'll be going with the questions. 27. With reference to the above passage, consider the following statement. Developing countries, a strong institution framework is the only requirement for the human development. And a policy option. Human development and economic growth are not always positively interrelated. Focusing only on the human development should be the goal of economic growth. So, for the question number 27, the answer C is correct because human development and the economic growth are not always positively interrelated. Human development and economic growth, because many of them are depending upon the many of the institutions and a group of people. So only they think themselves that their development and their priorities should be developed. Okay, so it is only based upon their own developments, not from the for the entire things. So the human development and economic growth are not always positively interrelated. When it comes to a group of people, a group of leaders, only they themselves will be developing their own perspectives, right? So for the question number 27, the answer C, only 2. Okay, uh, 2 is correct, which means 27, second statement, that is 27, answer C. For the question number 27, the option is C. And coming to the 28th question. This question is also, 28th question is also regarding the passage. To the above passage, the following assumptions have been made. What is higher economic growth is essential to ensure the reduction in economic disparity. Environmental degradation is sometimes a consequence of economic growth. So among this one, which assumption can be made? Okay, that is for the question number 28. The answer is the only 2. Environment degradation Environment degradation is sometimes a consequence of economic growth. Okay. Environment degradation is sometimes a consequence of economic growth. Next. Coming to the question number 29. So question number 29. A runs less fast than B. Okay. A runs less fast than B. So A is running lesser than B. Okay. And B runs fast but not fast as C. C will run but not fast as C. So among B, C is fast. Then C compared to A. Okay. Then compared to A, C runs. Okay. Then compared to A, C runs. So here A, B, C are there. A is running lesser than B and B is running lesser than C. Okay. B is running lesser than C. Mm. And compared to A, C runs. Compared to A, C runs, C is very fast, right? Since C is faster than B, that will be faster than A also, right? So for the question number 29, the answer is B. So the C runs faster than A, right? Next, coming to the question number 30. Each of A, B, C, and D has 100 rupees. So if you look at if you look at the explanation part, A, B, C, D are having 100 rupees. Okay. A pays 20 to B. A is paying 20 to B. So the A is left with 80 and B will get 120. Okay. And B who pays 10 rupees to C. So after getting 120, it is paying 10 rupees to C. Now B is having 110 and C is having also 110. And C who gets rupees 30 from D. C it is having 140 but it is getting 30 rupees from the D. So next D will be left with 70 and C will be having 140. Okay. In this context, which one of the following statement is not correct? So what is not correct? C is the richest. No, C is having more, right? 140. Oh, that is wrong. So correct statement. Statement not correct. Okay. C is the richest. That is the right statement only. D is the poorest. So D is the poorest. So D. That is also correct statement, right? Because D is having less. Next, C has more than what A and D have together. C is having more than what A and D have. Now add A and D. A is having 80, D is having 70. Okay, 80 plus 70 we get 150 and C is having only 140. So this is the wrong statement because C is having more than what A and D have. If we add A and D, A is having 80, 70, 150, that is 140. So C is having less compared to A and D. So this is the wrong statement. And B is richer than D. B obviously 110 is richer than D. Okay. So for the question number 30, the answer is C. Okay. Next. Question number 31. In a town, 45% population read magazine A, 55 read magazine B, 40 read magazine C, and 30% read magazine A and B, and 15 read magazine B and C, and 25% read magazine A and C, and 10 read all the three magazines. What is the percentage? What is the percentage? Do not read any magazine. Okay. So among 100%, these are the people who read these things. Okay. And now if you, this is the question that is related to union and sets. Now, if there are three sets, we know the formula. Formula for the union of three sets, A union, B union, C. We get that is A plus B plus C minus A intersection B minus B intersection C minus A intersection C plus A intersection B intersection C. So if we implement all this, we get 80%. But in the question, it is asked that what is the percentage do not read any magazine. So this 80% is the thing, whatever maybe the persons are reading. Now if you minus 100% minus 80, we get 20. So 20% is the thing that they do not read any magazine. So for the question number 30, the answer is C. Next, 32nd question. So examine the following statements. Lady's finger is tastier than cabbage. Cauliflower is tastier than lady's finger. Cabbage is not tastier than peas. Okay, these three statements are given and we have to draw a good conclusion from this. So here lady's finger is tastier than cabbage and cauliflower is tastier than lady's finger. So cauliflower is more tastier than all the things, right? So coming to the statements. Peas are tasty as lady's finger. No. Peas are tasty as cauliflower and lady's finger. No. Cabbage is the least tasty of the four vegetables. And cauliflower is tastier than cabbage. So we can conclude option D because cauliflower is tastier than cabbage, right? Cauliflower is tastier than lady's finger, and lady's finger is tastier than cabbage. So cauliflower is more tastier. So from the question from the given statements, for the question number 32, the answer D is correct. Okay. Next 33. Shahid and Rohit start from the same point in opposite directions. Okay. See, if you look at the picture, that SP starting point, Rohit and Shahid, they are traveling opposite to each other. After each 1 kilometer, Shahid always turns left and Rohit always turns right. So from the starting point to after each 1 kilometer, Shahid will be always turning left and Rohit will be always turning right. So from the above statements, what we can guess is which of the following statements are correct? A. After both have traveled 2 kilometers, the distance between them is 4 kilometers. They meet after each other has traveled 3 kilometers. See, they meet for the first time after each has traveled 4 kilometers. D. They go on without even meeting again. So from the above statements, we can conclude the B is correct because they will be meeting. Because after 1 kilometers, after each 1 kilometers, they will be turning right. After each 1 kilometer, Shahid will be turning. Shahid will be turning always left, and Rohit will be turning always right. So they will be meeting after each has traveled 3 kilometers. See, after traveling the 3 kilometers, first kilometers and the second 3 kilometers, they will be turning left and right, and again end points they will be meeting after traveling each 3 kilometers. So for the question number 33, the answer is B. Okay. And coming to the question number 34. 500-meter race. B starts 45 meters ahead of A, but A wins the race while B is still 35 meters behind. Okay, now look at the picture. The total race is 500 meters and A at starting and ending. Here in the question, if you see, B starts 45 meters ahead of A. So B is starting at 0 point and A is starting at 0 point and B is starting at 45 meters ahead. Okay. B is starting 45 meters ahead of A. That is the starting. And coming to the ending, A wins the race while B is still at 35 meters. So B is still in 35 meters and by the time A will be winning the race. If you look at the picture, you'll be getting an idea. Okay. And the question, what is it? What is the ratio of the speed of A and B, assuming the both start at the same time? Okay, assuming that both start at the same time. So now it is asking that what is the ratio of A and B. So now if you come to solution box, A is completely traveling 500 meters, right? Only B is starting at 45 meters and it is ending at 35 meters. Okay, 35 meters before only. So this 35 meters and 45 meters and 35 meters should be deleted. Okay, B is equal to 500 meters minus 45 plus 35. Then we get 500 minus 80. Then the B is traveling 420 meters. 500 minus 80, we get 420. Now B is traveling only 420 meters. A is traveling 500 meters, B is traveling 420 meters. Now it is asking what is the ratio of A and B. Ratio of A and B is equal to 500 by 420. A is 500 and B is 420. So A is to B. So therefore 500 is to 420. Then we get 25 is to 21. So A is the ratio of A is 25 and the ratio of B is 21. So in the option it is A, option A. So for the question number, the answer is option A. Next, question number 35. Two equal glasses of same type are respectively 1 by 3 and 1 by 3 and 1 by 4 full of milk. Okay, there are two glasses and two glasses are having, one glass is having 1 by 3 and other glass is having 1 by 4 of the milk. Okay, and now they are filled up with water and the content are mixed in the pot. Okay, so 1 by 3 and 1 by 4 and the rest of the pot are filled with the water content. Okay, what is the ratio of the milk in the pots? Okay, now we have to find the ratio of the milk. They are filled with the water and the content are mixed in the pot. What is the ratio of the milk and the water in the pot? Okay, this 3 1 by 3 and 1 by 4 of milk, they are mixed with the and the rest of the parts are mixed with the water content. Okay, now we have to find out what is the ratio of the milk and what is the ratio of the water. And if you look at the solution box, there are two glasses, one is filled with 1 by 3 and the second is 1 by 4. First we will be calculating the total milk in the glass. So total milk in the both glass is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4, we get 7 by 12. Okay, by adding this we will be getting 7 by 12. So now we will be calculating the water. The water in the first glass, that is 2 by 3. That we will be getting water in the first glass is equal to 1 minus 1 by 3, we get 2 by 3. Okay, 1 minus water in the first glass, 1 minus 1 by 3, right? That 1 by 3 is a milk. We are separating from the entire glass 1 and we are separating the milk 1 by 3. 1 minus 1 by 3, we get 2 by 3. And in the same thing, water in the second glass, 1 minus 1 by 4, we get 3 by 4. Okay, this 2 by 3 and 3 by 4 are the amount of water content. Now if we add these two, total water in the both glasses, 2 by 3 plus 3 by 4, we get 17 by 12. And now it is asking the ratio. Okay, ratio of the milk and water. So what is the ratio of milk? 7 by 12. And what is the ratio of water? 17 by 12. So if we calculate the 7 by 12 is to 17 by 12, we get 7 is to 17. So 7 is to 17 is option A. So for the question number 35, the answer is A. And coming to the question number 36. Out of 130 students appearing in a examination, 130 students are there in a total. Okay, 62 failed in English. Okay, 52 failed in mathematics. Okay, 24 failed in both the subjects. Okay, both the English and maths. The number of students who passed finally. So this is the question regarding the sets. And if you look at the picture, now we have to calculate the how many are failed. Okay, so totally these are the students: 62 failed in English and 52 in maths, 24 in total. Okay, now the formula is n into m. Okay, English and maths, n equal to n into e plus n into m minus n into e intersection m. Okay, So if we simplify, we get 90. Now this total 90 is the students how many have totally failed. Now in the question it is asking that the number of students who passed finally. So that will be getting the total 130 are there. So minus this 90, 130 minus 90, we get 40. So for the question number 36, the answer is 40. So 40 students finally passed all the subjects. Okay. And now coming to the question number 37. 37. In a group of persons traveling in a bus, 6 persons can speak Tamil, 15 can speak Hindi, and 6 can speak Gujarati. Okay, 6 can speak Gujarati. None of them can speak any other languages. If 2 persons in a group can speak 2 languages only, and one can speak all 3 languages, how many persons are there in a group? So now here in the question number 37, if you look at the picture, Tamil 6, Hindi 15 and Gujarati 6 are there. Okay. Now in the question it is given that only one can speak all the languages. So if you look at the circles, only one can speak all the languages, and two can speak in the group 2 languages, or 2 persons can speak only 2 languages. Either it may be Tamil or Hindi or Gujarati, or Gujarati or Tamil. That is not mentioned, but I have given it as a Tamil and Hindi. Tamil and Hindi are spoke by 2 persons. So now the first circle is indicating the Tamil speaking persons, and the second circle indicates the Hindi speaking one, and the third one, and which is down, that indicates the Gujarat speaking one. So Tamil totally 6 are there. Among that 6, one will be speaking all the languages, and two will be speaking the 2 languages, and the remaining 3 are Tamil speaking persons. Okay, that is regarding the first circle. Now coming to the Hindi people speaking. Hindi totally 15 are there. Okay, 15 are there. In that 15, one is able to speak all the languages, and two are able to speak both the languages. So if you add this 2 plus 1 plus 12, we get 15. Okay, and the same and 15. And coming to the Gujarati people, there are 6, but among the 6, one is able to speak all the languages. So the rest of the Gujarat speaking one is 5. Now if you add all these people, who are they? 3 plus 2 plus 12 plus 1 plus 5. Now if we add this 3 plus 2 plus 12 plus 1 plus 5, we get a 23. So totally 23 persons are there who are traveling for a trip. Okay, totally 23 persons, they are traveling for the trip. And next, coming to the question number 38. In a parking area, the total number of wheels of all the cars, four-wheelers and scooters, motorbikes, is 100 more than twice the number of parked vehicles. The number of car parked is, okay, the number of cars parked is, okay, here there is a parking area. In that parking area, cars and scooters are being parked. So now if you come into the solution box, car will be having 4 wheels, right? So 4C we will be writing. And scooters or vehicles that they will be having 2 wheels, right? So 2S. Okay. And in the question it is giving that in the question it is given that The total number of wheels of all the cars and scooters is 100 more than the twice the number of parked vehicles. So one side we can have the 4C and 2C, 4C plus 2C. They are equal to 100. In the question, 100 more than twice the number of parked vehicles. So 100 plus twice the number, which means 100 plus 2 into C plus S. So now we have to find the total number of cars. So with this equation, we can able to understand how this simplification has come. Totally, for one car, we will be having 4 wheels, and one scooter will be having 2 wheels, right? So 4C plus 2C is equal to, in the question it is given that 100 more than twice the number of parked vehicles. 100 plus 2 into C plus S. So if we simplify all these, 4C plus 2S is equal to 100 plus 2C plus 2S. 2C, 2S will be cancelled, and 4C. And now C is equal to 50. So the total number of cars parked is 50. Okay. And now for the question number 38, the answer C, option C is correct, 50. And coming to the question number 39. The mangroves can shed tons of leaves per acre every year. Fungi and bacteria break down this leaf litter, consume it. Okay, these mangroves are a thick forest, right? Thick forest can shed tons of leaves per year. Okay, this mangroves, thick forest will be growing more leaves, and the fungi and bacteria down this leaf litter and consume it. Okay, the fungi and bacteria which are present in the bushes, they will be eating that leaves. They are consumed by tiny worms and circassians, which in turn fed a small fish, which fed a larger fish in the birds and crocodile. And these worms are being eaten by small fish, and small fish are eaten by large fish, birds, and crocodiles. So, which among the following is the most logical inference of the above statements? Which is the logical one? What is it? First one, coastal areas cannot have food chains without mangroves. Mangroves are an essential component of all marine ecosystems. Mangroves have a crucial role in some of the coastal food chains. The composition of the marine flora and fauna is largely determined by the mangroves. Okay, so for this, the question number 39, the option C is correct, because mangroves have a crucial role in some of the coastal food chains. So in the coastal food chains, mangroves, these leaves have uh, playing the important role regarding the food chain, okay, in the coastal areas. And now coming to the question number 40. By liberty, I mean the eager maintenance of that atmosphere in which men have the opportunity to be their best selves. Okay, by liberty. Okay, liberty means state of being free. Okay, having their own freedom. Uh, which of the following expression of the view implies in the above statements? Okay, liberty is the absence of restraint on human action. Liberty is what law permits people to perform. Liberty is the ability to do what one desires. Liberty is the maintenance of conditions for growth of human personality. So, for the question number 40, the answer is D is correct. Okay, liberty is the maintenance of conditions for the growth of human personality. Okay, because everyone has their own personality to be free. So, liberty is the maintenance of the condition for the growth of human personality. Next, question number 41. Climate change is already making many people hungry all over the world by distorting crops, yields, and pushing up prices. And it is not just food but nutrients that are becoming scarce. Question number 41. So this is regarding the passage. Oh, climate change is already making many people hungry all over the world by disputing crops early and pushing up the price. And it is not just food by nutritions that are becoming scarcer as a climate change. So this is the this passage is about the problems that are occurring due to the climate change. Okay, due to the climate change, what are the problems that are been affecting and mainly hunger problems. Okay, so coming to the question, which of the following is the most logically correlate to the above passage? Okay, logical one. Okay, option A, government should allocate more funds to poverty alleviation program and increase food subsidies to the poor communities. Poverty and climate impacts reinforce each other, and therefore we have to reimagine our food ecosystem. Okay, all the countries of the world must unite in fighting poverty and malnutrition and treat poverty as a global problem. Okay, must stop unsustainable agriculture practices immediately and control food prices. So for the question number 41, the option B is correct because poverty and climate impacts reinforce each other, and therefore we have to reimagine our food system. So regarding this climate change, poverty will be a big problem, and we have to think about the food system. Okay. So for the question number 41, the answer B is correct. Coming to the question number 42. This is also regarding the passage. The Global Financial Stability Report finds that the share of profit investment from advanced economic is the total debit, and equity investments in emerging economics had doubled in the past decades of 12%. Okay, this passage states about the Global Financial Stability Report states that the economy has doubled in the past decades into 12%. Okay, the economy has doubled in the 12%. So the phenomena has implication for Indian policy, and this passage states that regarding the financial stability. Okay, I have gone to this passage and I'll be going with the question. And for the question number 42, which among the following is the most rational and critical interference that can be made from the above passage? Foreign portfolio investments are not good for emerging economics. Advanced economics undermine the global financial stability. India should desist from accepting foreign portfolios investments in the future. Emerging economics are at the risk of shock for advanced economics. Okay, so the logical one is critical. Most rational and critical interference that we can conclude is option D. Emerging economics are at the risk of shock for advanced economics. So, uh, so for the question number 42, the answer D is correct. Okay, and next 43 is also regarding the passage. Open defecation is a distress when the practice is very densely populated areas where it imposes keeping the human feces from the crops well and food and children hands. So This passage is about the pollution, open defecation. So due to the open defecation, people are letting their waste into open places. All the people are being affected. Mainly, diarrhea also is being implemented. That also being caused at the high level. So this is the passage regarding the pollution. Okay, the pollution that has been caused by the humans. And for coming to the question, which among the following is the most critical interference that can make change from the above passage? That is, the central and the state government in India do not have enough resources to afford a latrine for each household. Open defecation is the most important public health problem in India. Open defecation, human capital of Indian workforce. Open defecation is the public health problem in all the developing countries. So most critical interference we can conclude as C. Open defecation reduce the human capital of Indian workers. Okay. So for the question number 43, the option is C is correct. Next, coming to the question number 44. These also regarding the passage. Generally, we talk about democracy, but when it comes to any particular things, we prefer be a being belong to our caste or community or religion. Okay, so long as you have a kind of these temptations, our democracy will remain in a phenomenal kind of democracy. Okay, so democracy means it is a government which is being elected by the democracy by the people. Okay, but when come to individuality, people are mostly thinking about their own caste, community and religion. Okay, they are not thinking for all the sake of good among the country. So this is the passage regarding the democracy. Now coming to the question number 44, which of the following statements best sum ups the above passage? So or due to this individual problems like they belong to their own caste, community and religion, democracy is not being that much implemented. So among this passage, the four statements are given, which is adding the sum up. Okay, first one, our country has a lot of diversity with its many castes, communities and religions. True democracy could be established by the providing equal opportunities to all. So far, none of us have actually understood the meaning of democracy. It will never be possible for us to establish truly democratic governance in our country. So, for the question number 44, the answer B is correct, because true democracy could be established by the providing equal opportunities to all. Equal opportunity. We should not think about our caste, community, and religion. True democracy could be established only by giving all equal opportunities. That is the best sum up for the passage. So for the question number 44, the answer B is correct. Okay. Next, coming to the question number, this 45 question is regarding the passage only. Next coming question. Now we'll be looking into the passage. The existence establishment for the often formal financial institutions that offer safe, reliable, and alternative financial instrument is fundamental in mobilizing the savings to save individual needs, access to safeguard the reliable financial institutions such as banks, and to approach the financial instruments and reasonable financial incentives. So this is regarding the financial institutions to safeguard our own properties. Okay, each one should have their own financial instruments in order to safeguard their properties or save their savings. Okay, uh, and coming to this, next we'll be going with the questions. This question is 45th question is regarding that passage. With reference to passage, consider the following statements. Okay, India's financial institutions do not differ any financial institutions to rural household to mobilize their savings. Poor households tend to spend their earning savings due to the lack of access to appropriate financial instruments. So, which of the statements are correct? So, for the question number 45, only second statement is correct. 45, option B, 2 is correct. Poor households tend to spend their earnings and savings due to the lack of access of appropriate financial instruments. So, poor people doesn't have any financial instruments, so they are lacking to save their savings. Okay. The 46. What is the crucial message conveyed in the passage? What is the crucial message? Establishing more banks, increase the GDP of growth rate, increase the interest rate of banks, promote financial institutions. So option D is correct. To promote the financial inclusion, giving advices and making them to be saving their to save their income. Okay. So for the question number 46, the answer D is correct. And 47, these also regarding the passage. Okay. Government may have to take steps which would otherwise be in an infringement on the fundamental rights of individuals, such as acquires a person's land against his will or refusing permissions for putting up the building. But the large public interest of these are done must be authorized by the people parliament. Okay. This is regarding the safeguarding the people's properties, okay, with the help of fundamental rights. So now coming to the question, which among the following is the most logical assumption that can be made from the above passage? That is, government should always be given wide discretionary powers in all the matters of administration. The supremacy of rulers and safeguards should prevail in opposed to the influence of the exclusive desertion of authority. Parliamentary democracy is possible only if the government has wider discretionary powers. None of the above statement is a logical assumption that can be made from the passage. So, for the question number 47, so this passage regarding the person's will and rights, okay, regarding their own properties. So, for the question number 47, the answer B is correct because the supremacy of rules and safeguarding should prevail as opposed to the influence of the exclusive dissection of the authority. So, due to the exclusive dissection of authorities, the supremacy of the role should be prevailed. Okay, there will be few officers who are been not good at doing good. So the supremacy of the rule should be safeguarded. Okay, with the help of these fundamental rights, individuals' rules should be safeguarded. So for the question number 47, the answer B is correct. Now coming to the question number 48. A selection is to be made for a one post of a principal and a two post of vice principal. Okay, one post of principal and a two posts of vice principal among the 6 candidates. Okay, there are 6 candidates called for the interview. Only 2 are eligible for the post of principal, while all the rest are eligible for the principal of post of vice principal. The number of possible combinations of selection is, okay, here there are 6 posts and there are 6 persons coming for the selection of one post for principal and two posts for vice principal. Totally 6 people are there, and among that 6, 2 are eligible for the principal and the rest of them are eligible for the vice principal. So how many possible ways are there? See, if you come into this 2C1, 2 posts are there for the principal, 2 2 are eligible for principal, and there is only one post for the principal, that is 2C1. And into if one post is for principal, rest of the 5 posts are for a vice principal, right? So the vice principals, there are 5 people, and only 2 posts are there for the vice principal, that is 5C2. Again I am repeating, for the principal there is only one post and 2 are eligible. So for that reason 2C1. For the vice principal there are 5 people, and only 2 posts are there for the vice principal. Okay. So again, how many possible ways are there? So if you calculate 2C1, 2 into 1 by 1, and 5 into 5 into 4 by 2 into 1. If we simplify, we get 20. So there are 20 possible ways of selecting these 6 people among as one as a principal and 2 as a vice principal. So there are 20 possible ways. So option 20 is not there here. So for the question number 48, the answer is 20, but 20 is not there. So option D will be correct. None of the above. None of the above is the right answer. So for the question number 48, D. There are 20 possible ways, but this 20 is not there. So for the question number 48, the answer is D. Coming to the question number 49. A student has to opt for 2 subjects out of 5 subjects for a course, namely commerce, economics, statistics, mathematics 1 and mathematics 2. Okay. So a student has to, again same type of question. Again, a student has to select 2 subjects among the 5 subjects. Okay. Among the 5 subjects. Namely commerce, economics, statistics, mathematics 1 and mathematics 2. Mathematics 2 can be offered only if mathematics 1 is also opted. So mathematics 2 can be opted only if mathematics 1 is opted. Okay, that is a statement. The number of different combinations of 2 subjects which can be opted. Okay, so among these 5 subjects, one statement is giving that mathematics 2 can be opted only if mathematics 1 is opted. So now we have to delete the mathematics 2. Okay, the remaining there are 4 subjects, right? So now if we simplify these 4 subjects, there are 4 subjects and a person has to adopt only 2. Therefore 4C2. That implies we get a 6. Okay. So in a 6 possible ways, those 4 subjects can be implied, opted. Now in the statement, mathematics 2 can be opted only if mathematics 1 is there. So that is a one statement. So that is a one statement. So 6 plus 1, we get a 7. So for the question number 48, the answer is for the question number 48. Sorry, for the question number 49, the answer is C, 7. For the question number 49, the answer is C, 7. Coming to the question number 50. Okay. A person ordered 5 pairs of black socks. Okay. A person ordered 5 pairs of black socks and some pairs of brown socks. Okay. If you look into the solution box, black 5 pairs he ordered and brown that we don't know, that we conclude as X. Okay. So now come back to question. The price of a black pair was thrice that of brown pair. Okay. The black pair is twice that of brown pair. So brown pair we don't know, that we conclude as P, and black pair we conclude as 3P because 3 times, right? So if we simplify this, 5 into 3P plus X into P. Okay. 15P plus XP. So this is the equation that we are getting. Okay. Now again, While preparing the bill clerk interchanged the number of black and brown pairs by mistake. Okay. Now if we look into the solution box, after interchanging the bill clerk interchanged the black socks and brown socks. Now black is termed as X and brown is termed as 5 pairs. Okay. And for this price will be same. And again in the question it is giving that. So first we will be simplifying this. 3px plus 5p. Okay. After interchanging we are getting the equation 3px plus 5p. Before interchanging, that is 15p plus xp. Okay. Now come back to question. While preparing the bill clerk interchanged the number of black and brown pairs by mistake, which increased the bill by 100%. Okay, the bill is increased by 100%. So with this we can conclude as the bill is increased twice. Okay, more than the thing, the bill is increased twice. So therefore this 3px plus 5p is equal to 2 into 15 plus xp. This 2 comes because the bill is increased 100%, right? If it is only 1%, well, 1 okay. Instead of, because it is increased twice they are paying, right? The bill is twice increased. Okay. More than that, again 100% is increased. Second time it is also increasing. Okay. The actual payment. Okay. Actually they has to pay 15p plus xp. But after interchanging, the bill is increased twice. So 3px plus 5p is equal to 2 into 15p plus xp. So now if we simplify this, we can now we want to know only the pairs of how many pairs of x brown socks. So that we termed as x. So cancel all the p's. 3px plus 5p. In that pp and 2p's are here, and that side also p 15p and xp. P you cancel, and we get 3x plus 5 is equal to 2 into 15 plus x. Okay, after cancelling all the p's. Now simplify this. 3x plus 5 is equal to 30 plus 2x. Okay, by simplifying this we get that one, and we want only x. X is equal to 30 minus 5. Therefore x is equal to 25. So the pair of brown socks is equal to 25. Therefore the question number 50, the answer is 25. So for the question number 50, the answer is 25. Coming to question number 51. Okay, the number of person who have read magazine X only is thrice the number of person who read magazine Y. The number of person who read magazine Y only is twice the number of the person who have read the magazine X. Then which of the following conclusions are there? Okay, the number of persons who read both the magazines is twice the number of persons who read only magazine X. And second one, the total number of persons who read either one magazine or both the magazine is twice the number of person who read both the magazines. So now actually this question has been dictated as a mistaken by UPSC, and in the year 2015 this question is given as answer X, which means the question itself wrong, because they have given the wrong question itself. So actually the question should be according to the question. If you look into the solution box, the number of person who read magazine X is twice the number of person who read magazine Y. Okay, if you look at the circles, there are two circles X and Y. In the X circle A people are reading, and in the Y circle, C people are reading. And in the middle, who read both the magazine, we conclude it as B. Okay. Now, in the question, it is giving that the number of person who read magazine X, which means A, is thrice the number of person who read magazine Y. So here X we denoted as A is equal to thrice the number means 3 into B, thrice the number of magazine who read Y. Y we conclude as B plus C, right? So A is equal to 3 into B plus C. And same thing, the number of person who read magazine Y, that is also thrice the number of magazine who read X, which means C is equal to, C is denoted as Y, right? C is equal to 3 into A plus B. So this cannot be solved because this is a contradiction question. Actually, it should be given that instead of thrice the number, the question should come as it should be 3 times the number of person who read magazine X is the number of person who read magazine Y. So the question should be 3A is equal to B plus C and 3C is equal to A plus B. So your question itself wrong, so this cannot be solved, and this is given as X as a solution. So this is a contradiction question. So if the question has come as 3A equal to B plus C and 3C equal to A plus B, then the uh, answer might be both. Okay, now the answer is neither 1 or 2. Okay, but it is termed as X. No marks, whether it is given marks is added or not added, that we have to go through it. And this is a contradiction question. So question number 51 is, the question itself is a wrong. Okay, next coming to question number 52. Question number 52, the graph below depicts of earnings of A and B over a period of 2000 to 2010. Okay, here if you observe the graph shows the details from 2000 to 2010. Okay, now we'll be going with the options. A, on the average, A earns more than B during the period, and on the average, A earns more than during the B, and B, on an average, B earns more than A during the period, and C, the earnings of A and B are equal during this period. The earnings of A were less as compared to during B this period. Okay, now we have to calculate the earnings of A to B from the period of 2000 to 2010. See, if you observe the graph, being high till 2007, right? If you clearly observe from 2000 to 2007, till 2007, the graph of A is high and B is little low. And from 2007 to 10, B is high and it is below. So from this we can conclude as on an average A earns more than B during this period. So here the question is asked from 2000 to 2010. From 2000 to 2010, this entire period till 2007 A is high, and from 2007 to 2010 B is high. So A is more high in during the years comparing to B. B is only high for 2007 to 2010, right? But A is above from 2000 to 2007. So comparing to this A and B, A is high. So we can go with the option A. On an average, A earns more than B during the period. Okay, from 2000 to 2010, A is having more average. So for the question number 52, the answer is A. Coming to the question number 53. Question number 53. Number 53. Two pipes A and B can independently fill a tank completely in 20 to 20 and 30 minutes respectively. If both the pipes are opened simultaneously, how much time will they take to fill the tank completely? So two pipes A and B are there, and they take A 20 minutes and B will be taking 30 minutes to fill the tank. But if both the pipes are opened simultaneously at a time, how much time they takes? Okay. So here coming to solution box, uh, 1 by T. T is denoted as time. Okay. This 1 by T we are taking as because the time taken to fill the tank is inverse of the combined rate. So that is the reason we will be taking 1 by T. So 1 by T is equal to, we want time, right? So T is equal to 1 by 20 plus 1 by 30. That is A and. So if we do an LCM, we get P plus 2 by 60. And if we simplification, we get 1 by 12. So T is equal to 12. So for the time taken to fill the tank is 12 minutes. Okay. So for the question number 53, the answer is B, 12. And coming to the question number 54. 54. Each of the 6 different faces of a cube have been coated with different colors, either V, I, B, G, Y, and O. The following information gives. So we know that cube has 6 faces, and those 6 faces are coated with these letters V, I, B, G, Y, O. So the following statements are the colors Y, O, and B are on adjacent faces. So here it is giving that. See, if you look at the solution box, YOB. So if we place a cube on a table or any object, we can able to see only 3 sides. Okay, only 3 sides of the cube we can be seen. One is top and 2 adjacent sides, right? So in the same way, I have drawn the example that YOB are adjacent sides. So YOB are adjacent sides if you look at the picture. And second one, colors I, G, and Y are on adjacent sides. On other sides, I, G, and Y. Beside Y, I, G are there. So beside Y, I, G are there. So I is placed that side and G will be on the down. Okay, opposite to O. So I will be an adjacent side to B. Sorry, I will be an opposite side of B. Okay. And third one, colors B, G, Y are on adjacent sides. B, G, and Y are on adjacent sides. Yes, B, G, Y are, that is there also side by side. Okay. Next four, O, V, and B are on adjacent sides. Look at the picture, O, V, and B. Because we know that O and B are adjacent sides, and now V is added there. So opposite Y, V will be there, opposite O, G will be there, and opposite I, B will be there. Okay. And the question, which of the color of the face opposite to O? Opposite to O, if you see opposite to O, it is a G. So you have to draw a cube according to the statements given below, 4 statements, and by the statements we will be getting answer. So opposite to face of O, it is G. So for the question number 54, the answer is G, which is C. Okay. Next, coming to question number 55. Consider the following statements followed by the 2 conclusions. Okay. Statements. Some men are great, some men are wise. Conclusion. Men are either great or wise. Some men are neither great nor wise. So which of the following is correct? Only conclusion 1 is valid, only conclusion 2 is valid, both the conclusions are valid, neither of conclusion is valid. Okay. So for this, Statements what some men are great and some men are wise. Only some are great and some are wise. But conclusion is saying that men are either great or wise. Statement there are only some, but in the conclusion is stating that entire men. Okay, and conclusions two is stating that some men are neither great or wise. So some men are they are not great or they are not wise. So that is also somewhat uh, not matching to the statement of not conclusion 2 is also not matching to the statement. So for the 55th question, the answer D will be valid because neither the both of the conclusions is valid. So both the conclusions are not representing the statements. So for the question number 55, the answer is uh, D. Okay. Next question number 56. Some claim to have seen UFO, flying objects, life on other heavenly bodies is considered to be possible. Okay. Voyage to space is now established fact. So consider the following statements. Some claim to have seen UFOs, okay, unidentified flying objects, and life is on the heavenly bodies is considered to be a possibility. Voyage to space is now established fact. So from the above statements, it may be concluded that okay, these three statements are that are related to from uh, objects, okay, flying objects, okay, some flying objects, okay, voyage to space now is established regarding the flying, okay. Now from the statements it will be concluded as UFOs are heavenly bodies, UFOs are sent from heavenly bodies, some living species on other heavenly bodies are uh, more intelligent than man. Nothing definite can be said about the UFOs. Okay, so for the question number 5, we can conclude as D because this 1 to 3 statements and ABC statements are uh, some AB statements are somewhat not that much related. Okay, so from the nothing defined can be said about the UFOs. This ABC statements cannot be not somewhat adding statements to the first three statements. So for the question number 56, the answer D is correct because nothing defined said about the UFOs. So regarding the UFOs, nothing information is being relatedly, it was being given up. Okay, these three options. So for the question number 56, the answer D is correct. Okay, and coming to question number 57. If you see to DEED is equal to ABC, ABC, where ABCD and E are different digits. Okay, what are the values of D and E? So this is a question that if any question comes regarding this, we just have to remember only simple statements that the variables ABC, XYZ, MNO, this somewhat immediately comes and they are multiplied with any of the uh, objects like DED, EE, EFE, and GHHG. So if they are if they are given as to be multiplied, we have to conclude this DED as a 1001. So again I am repeating, if any variables MNO, ABC, XYZ are to be multiplied with any of the other variables like G, H, FFH, or others like x, y, x is not to be multiplied. So we have to conclude these four as 1001. So ABC into 1001. Okay. This DED is represented as 1001. And now here we can conclude as by multiplying these things ABC into DED, which is nothing but 1001. Again we will be getting the answer ABC into ABC. If ABC is multiplied with 1001, again we will be getting the answer, that is ABC into ABC. And MNO is multiplied with 1001, again we will be getting MNO and MNO. If XYZ is multiplied with 1001, again we will be getting XYZ and XYZ. So for the question number 57, the answer is C. D is equal to 1 and E equal to 0. Since I told D is termed as 1001. D is 1, E is 0, E is 0 and D is 1. So for the question number 57, the answer C. D is equal to 1 and E is equal to 0. Okay. Next. Coming to the question number 58. Otherwise, variations of the price of a certain commodity is shown in the following figure. Okay. Year-wise commodity average is shown in the following figure. See, from 1980 to 2010, the graph has been increasing, right? The graph has been increasing. So, coming to the question, the price of the commodity in the year 1990. So, the price of the commodity of the year in 1990. So, from 1980 to 1990, the graph is not in the starting. It was in the middle, right? And even though the graph is between 10 and 20. Okay, 10 and 20. Now, the price of commodity in the year, it is asking regarding the year 1990. If you clearly observe the graph from the year 1990, 1990, the graph is increasing 10 to 20. It is not showing. It is between the 10 and 20. Okay, the graph is between 10 and 20 in the year 1990. So we can conclude as C must have been anywhere between 10 and 20. So must have between 10, no, it is not in the 10. Must have between 12, it is not in the 12. So it is not straightly there. It is going up, increasing, right? So must be anywhere between 10 and 20. Okay. So must be anywhere between 10 and 20. So for the question number 58, the answer is C. Must be anywhere between the 10 and 20. And coming to the question number 59. The proportion of expenditure on various items by two families A and B are represented in the following bar charts. Okay, two families A and B. Okay, here A is spending 50% on food, 30% on other items, and 20% on education, and their total expenditure per month is 20,000. Okay, the family's total expenditure is 20,000. And coming to B, it is giving 10% food and 60% on other items and 30% on education. But this family's expenditure is 1 lakh per month. Okay, total expenditure is 1 lakh per month. And here options are given. From these charts, we can conclude that family A spent more money on food than family B. Family B spent more money on food than family A. Family A and family B spend the same amount of food, and the expenditure on the food by family A and family B cannot be compared. So now look into the solution box. We shall calculate the expenditures. Okay, on education, A is spending 20%, right? Family A on education it is spending 20%. and their total expenditure is 20,000. So 20,000 into 20%. 20% I have written it as 20 by 100. Okay, 20% is written as 20 by 100. So if we simplify this, we get 4,000. Okay, and same comparing to the food also. Food, how much it has been there? Food 50%, right? Next, 20,000 into 50%. 20,000 into 50 by 100. Then we will be getting 10,000. Another same simplification on others also. On others, it is giving 30%, right? Next, 20,000 into 30%. 20,000 into 30 by 100. Then we will be getting 6,000. So family A is spending on education 4,000, food on 10,000, and others on 6,000. And the same thing we have to do for the family B also. And here family B's expenditure is 1 lakh per month. Okay. Now on education it is spending 30%, right? 1 lakh into 30 by 100, we get 30,000. And on food it is giving 10%, right? Then we will be getting 1 lakh into 10%, we get 10,000. On others it is giving 60%, right? So it is 60,000. So now if you clearly observe, the both family A and B are spending same on a food, right? Family A is spending 10,000 and family B is also spending 10,000 on food. So for this, the option C is correct. Family A and family B spend the same amount on food. So for the question number 59, the answer is C. And coming to the question number 60. So Usha runs faster than Kamala. Okay. So if you observe the solution box, Usha is running more faster than Kamala. Okay. Preeti runs slower than Swati. So Preeti is running slower than Swati. So we look at the last one, yes. P arrow mark into P straight to S. Okay. S is denoted as Swati and P is denoted as Preeti, right? So Preeti runs slower than Swati. Okay. Swati is running more faster than Preeti. Okay. And Swati runs slower than Kamala. And again, Kamala is faster than Swati. So among these, who is the slowest runner? So if you clearly observe, among all, Preeti is the slowest runner. Okay. So for the question number 60, the answer is B, Preeti. Okay. Next. Next coming to the passages. I have suffered a persistent high inflation, increase in administrated price, demand and supply, imbalanced imported inflation aggravated by rupee depreciation and speculations. Okay, this passage is regarding the inflation. So inflation means that is a general increase of price, fall in the purchase value of money. So general increase of price, going up and down, inflation. Okay. So I gone through this passage. I will be going with the questions now. What is the most logical, rational, and crucial message that implies in the above passage? That is, under the present circumstances, India should completely avoid all trade liberalization policies and all subsidies due to its peculiar social economic situations. India is not yet ready for trade liberalization policies process. There is no solution in sight for a problem of continuing poverty and inflation in India in the near future. Economic reforms can often create a high inflation economy. Okay. So by all these reading this passage, we can conclude as D, because economic reforms can often create a high inflation economy. Economic reforms that often creates a high inflation. With the help of this economic details only, we can get the details of inflation. whether the price is high and price is low or not. So for the 61, the answer is D is correct, because with the help of economic reforms only, the details of inflation will be known to us. Okay. Next, coming to the question number 62. The 62 question is regarding the passage. Okay. No right is absolute, exclusive, or inviolable. The right of a personal property similarly has to be perceived in a larger context, um, larger context of its assumed legitimacy. Okay, so here this passage is regarding the rights of the personals regarding their property. Okay, uh, regarding their properties, how the rights are there for every individuals. Okay, next, coming to the question. In the lights of the arguments in the above passage, which one of the following statement is the most convincing explanation? So convincing regarding the rights of individual. What is a convincing? Okay, right of personal property is a natural right duty supported by the status and scriptures. Okay, next, personal property is a theft and an instrument of exploitations. The right of the personal property is therefore violated of economic justice. Okay, being a personal property, it is saying that it is a theft, which means it will violate in the economic justice. Okay, next, coming to the C. The right of personal property is violative of distributive justice and negates the principle of cooperation. Okay. Next, the comprehensive idea of the economic justice demands that the right of each person to acquisitions of property has to be reconciled with that of others. And for this we can conclude as D only, because the comprehensive idea of economic justice demands the right of each person to acquisitions of property has to be reconciled with the other factors. So there should be reconciled with the other factors. So for the question number 62, the answer D is correct. Okay. Next, coming to the question number 63. This is also regarding the passage. The conflicts between the man and state is an old as a state history. Although attempts have been made from centuries to bring out a proper adjustment between the competing claims of state and individualism, the solution seems to be still far off. Okay, this is regarding the conflicts, small fight between the man and the state, because the man is still suffering regarding the freedom of speech actions, and the state which is being ruled, that is not giving that much freedom it seems. Okay, so according to the passage, now we will be going to the question. The author's viewpoint can be best summed up. Okay, so for this passage, which is being best summed up, adding some more information. So options: the conflicts between the claim of the state and individuals remain unresolved. B. Anarchy and the chaos are the obvious results of democratic traditions. Old values, ideas, and traditions persist despite the dynamic nature of human society. Constitutional guarantee of freedom of speech is not in the interest of society. So here, which is adding? A is adding. The conflicts between the claims of state and individuals remain unresolved. Yes. Still now it has been the going on issue. So the conflicts between the claims of state and individuals remain unresolved. Till now it is unresolved. So for the question number 63, the answer A is correct. Coming to the question number 64. Okay. And 64, 65, 66, 67. These questions are also regarding the passage. Okay, these 4 questions are regarding the passage. Okay, climate change is a complex policy issue with major implication in terms of finance. All actions to address the climate change ultimately involve quotes. Funding in a vital for countries like India is to design the implement adaptation and mitigation plans and projects. Lack of funding is a large impediment to implementing the adaptation plans. The scale and the magnitude of the financial plans. The scale and the magnitude of the financial support requires the developing countries to enhance their domestic mitigation adapts. Okay, so due to the climate change, here the passage is making that there should be a funding regarding the all the things that should be sought out. And the climate change, all the problems will be occurred, right? So for this, there should be a separate funding. Okay, and for this, under the UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, this organization has been putting up some measures regarding the development of what are the things that should be resolved during the climate change. Okay, so next coming to the passage. According to the passage, which of the following matters intense debate in the multilateral negotiations under the UNFCCC regarding the role of development countries in the climate change. Okay, that is the scale and the size of requirement financial support. Okay, the crop loss due to the climate change in the developing countries to enhance the mitigation and adaptation of the developing countries. So what is UNSF is what it is being negotiated options 1 and 3. Okay, the crop loss due to climate change in the developing countries. So we don't know about the crop loss. One crop loss cannot be defined with the other countries. Okay, that should be taken care by individual countries only. So here the scale and the size of required financial support and to enhance the mitigation adoption of action of the developing countries, help from the developing countries. This 1 and C option can be taken as consideration regarding the negotiations of UNFCCC. Okay, so for the question number 64, the answer C is correct. 1 and 3 options, that is C. Okay, next. In this passage, the convention puts the responsibility for the for the prevention of financial support on the development countries because okay, their higher level of per capita income, their large quantum of GDP, their large contribution to the stock of GHS to the atmosphere. So for this, we can conclude as C. Okay, third option only because the convention puts the financial responsibility. Okay, we are taking the financial responsibility and the help from the developing countries only regarding their large contribution to the stock of the GHG atmosphere. So their ideas and implements that should be implemented in order to make the climatic changes to get into our hands. So for this 65, the answer C is correct. Only third statement is correct. And question number 66. With regards to the developed countries, it can be inferred from the passage that climate change is likely to have implication on their what domestic finance, capacity for multilateral trade. Okay, with regard to the developing countries, it can be inferred from the passage that the climate change is likely to have implication on their domestic finance and capacity for multilateral trade. So climate change in each of countries that will be affecting their countries, right? So that comes under the domestic finance. So the climate change in one country cannot affect other country, right? So that is the problems to their own domestic finance only. So for the question number 66, the answer A is correct. Okay, which is A, one only. Okay, 66 option A. And coming to 67, which one of the following is essentially discussed in the passage? So what we have discussed in the passage: conflicts between the developed and the developing countries regarding the support for mitigation, occurrence of climate change due to excessive exploitation of natural resources by the developed countries, lack of political will on the part of all countries to implement adaptation plans, government problems of developing countries as a result in the climate change. So we can essentially conclude that option A, that is the conflicts between the developing and the developed and the developing countries regarding the support for mitigation. Okay, here from the above passage, one country is requesting help from the other countries regarding the climate change. So we can essentially conclude question number 68, the answer is A. So getting help from other countries and solving the conflicts between the climate change with other countries. So for the question number 67, the option A is correct. Okay. Coming to the question number 68. 68. Between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., the minute hand of a clock will be ahead of 4 hours, ahead of the hours hand by 3 minutes. So between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Okay, if you look at the solution box, question number 68. Between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., the hours hand is in the middle. Okay, and the minutes hand is 3 minutes before the hours hand. Okay, if we look at the clock, and between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., the hours hand is in the middle and minutes hand is before 3 minutes. Okay, so approximately at 6 o'clock it is 30 minutes and 7 o'clock it is 35 minutes, right? So approximately if the minutes hand is 3 minutes before, we may get approximately 6, 38, 37 or 36. So here which is near? So 6:36 is near approximately. So for the question number 68, the answer C is correct. 6:38 p.m. Okay. Next, coming to the question number 69. There are 5 tasks and 5 persons. Okay. There are 5 tasks and 5 persons. Task 1 cannot be assigned to either person 1 or person 2. Okay. So among these 5 tasks, task 1, it should not be assigned to person 1 and person 2. If you look at the solution box, task 1 is assigned to 3 or 4 or 5 because it should not be assigned to 1 and 2. So if 1 and 2 goes, 3, 4, 5 will be there among the 5 persons. Okay. So among these 3, 4, 5, one should get the tasks. Or at either it may be 3 or 4 or 5. Okay, let us assume that we are giving the task to third one. 4 or 5 will be left with the task. They will not get any task. So for T1 we are giving it to third person and 4, 5 will be left. It is not approximate to give to third one 4 or 5. Among these 3 persons we can able to give to anyone, but we are assuming it as a 3, and 4 or 5 will be left with the tasks. And come back to question. Task 2 must be assigned to either third person or fourth person. Next, look at the solution box. Task 2 should be assigned to only third person or fourth person. So anyway, 2 ways the task will be given. Okay, either it may be 3 or 4. Okay. Next, every person is to be assigned one task. In how many ways can the assignment can be done? So after all these things, everyone should get one each task. In how many ways the tasks can be assigned? Okay. So as I told you, T1 is given to third person and T2 is given to either third or fourth. Okay, that is 2 ways, and in the T1 it is left with the 2 ways. So these T1 and T2 are taking 2 tasks there are and the 3 tasks are left. So if we multiply this 3 into 2, 3 into 2 into 1, we get 6. So these 3 persons get the rest of the task in 6 ways. Okay, these 3 persons get the rest of the task in 6 ways. And now T1 is left with 2 ways and T2 is also left with 2 ways. Okay, so if you multiply this 6 into 2 into 2, we get 24. So among all the restrictions regarding the T1 and T2, each one can get the tasks in 24 ways. Okay, in 24 ways, these 5 tasks can be assigned to each person. So for the question number 69, the answer is 24. Coming to the question number 70. The monthly income of Peter and Paul are in the ratio of 4:3. Okay, look at the solution box. The monthly income of Peter and Paul are 4:3 and I have written as 4x and 3x. Now we are taking a x as a variable to find out the answer. Okay, so for income I am giving as x variable. Income of Peter and Paul is 4x and 3x. And come back to question, their expenses are in the ratio of 3:2 and their expenses are 3:2. So for these expenses I am giving the variable y, 3y and 2y. So now we will make an equation. 4x minus 3y is equal to 6000. This 4x is the income of Peter and 3y is expense of Peter, and finally each one will be same 6000, right? So that is the reason it is equal to 6000. So 4x minus 3y is equal to 6000. That is for the Peter, and for the Paul 3x minus 2y is equal to 6000 because both are saving 6000 each. And these two equations should be multiplied. Okay, we have to solve these equations and find out the x value. So if we multiply this equation 1 with 2 and equation 2 with 3, equation 1 with 2 and equation 2 with 3, then we can able to simplify. We get 9x minus 6y is equal to 3 into 6000 and 8x minus 6y is equal to 2 into 6000. And if we change the signs, plus minus as a plus, and we get x is equal to 6000. So here the value of x, so x is equal to 6000, and this is the expenses. Okay, and total income we have to find out the income. So now we insert this value x 6000 into 4x because the x is the income, right? 4x means we get 6000 into 4, 24,000. And coming to 3x, 3 into 6000 we get 18,000. So finally the income of this Peter and Paul are 24,000 and 18,000. So for the question number 70, the answer is A. And coming to the question number 71. Two cities A and B are 360 kilometers apart. Okay, a car goes from A to B with a speed of 40 kilometers and returns to A with a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. What is the average speed of the car? Okay, what is the average speed of the car? So here, if you look at the picture, question number 71, the distance of A is to B is 360 kilometers. So A is moving to B at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour and returning back to A at the speed of 60 kilometers. So in order to find a speed of the car, speed formula, distance by time. Okay, now distance by time. Now what is the distance? A car is traveling from A to B, that is 360, plus again from B to A, 360. 360 plus 360, we get a 720. And now we have to find out the time. Time is equal to time. speed by distance, right? So distance by speed. Okay, distance by speed we can conclude. Okay, that is time 360 by 40 plus 360 by 60. Okay, 360 by 40 plus 360 by 60, and if we simplify this we get 15. So finally 720 by 15, if you simplify we get 48. So finally the speed, what the average speed of the car is 48 kilometers per hour. Okay, so finally the speed of the car is 48 kilometers by hour. So this is the question regarding the speed and the time. So we just calculated the distance, that is 360, going 360 and coming back 360, that is 720. And time is equal to 360 by 40, that is 360 by 40 going time, and 360 by 60, that is coming back time. If we simplify we get 360 by 40 plus 360 by 60, we get 15. Okay, and next, so for the question number 71, the answer is 48, 70. For question number 71, answer B. Okay, 48 kilometers per hour. And coming to the question number 72, the 72 and 73 are related to the passage. Okay, A, C, D, E and F are cousins. Okay, A, B, C, D, E and F are cousins. Okay, no two cousins are of the same age. Okay, the cousins are, no two cousins are of the same age. So these cousins are not having the same age. Okay, these cousins are not having the same age, and but all the birthdays on the but all have the birthdays on the same day of the same month, but they are not having the same age, but their birthdays are same, but they all have birthdays on the same day and the same time, same month. Okay, they are having birthdays on same day and same month. The youngest is 17 years old and the oldest is 22 years. So the smallest one is having 17 years and the oldest, biggest one is having what, 22 years. Okay, smallest one is having 17 years and the eldest one is having 22 years, and the eldest one is E. Okay, F is somewhere between B and D in the age. A is older than B. So F is somewhere between B and D. Is between B and D, or F is between D and B. Okay, F is between, if you look at the solution box, you'll be able to understand. It's having the highest age, and F is between B and, either it may be F is between D and B. Okay, A is older than B. Okay, A is bigger than B. Okay, next, C is older than D. C is bigger than D. Okay, we have to arrange them in order way. And A is 1 year older than C. And A is 1 year older than C. From all these explanations, we can write this as EAC DFB or EAC BFD. Okay, now from among all these equations, which one of the following is possible? So which one of, coming to the 72nd question, which one of the following is possible? So 72nd question, which one of the following is possible? Is 20 years old, F is 18 years old, F is 19 years old, and F is 20 years old. So here F is in between, right? He is 18 years old because the last one is having 17 years. Either the 17 years may be B or D. B or D. So F is having 18 years old. So for the 72nd question, the answer is B. Okay. And 73rd. What is the number of logically possible orders in all the 6 questions in the term of increasing? And if we arrange them in increasing way, in how many ways they can be arranged? 2 ways, right? Either it may be EAC DFB or EAC BFD. So for the question number 73, the answer is B. Okay. Now, so next 74th question. In a society, it is customary for friends of the same sex to hug and for friends of opposite sex to shake hands when they meet. Okay, so in a society, there is a group of friends. When they meet, uh, girls will be having giving shake hands and opposite sex means girls, right? They will be giving shake hands, and the same sex means gents. They will be giving hugs. Okay, so a group of friends met in a party. There were 24 shake hands. So 24 shake hands only there are given. So with this 24 shake hands, we have to find out how many hugs are possible. So coming to the 24, if you look into the solution box, this 24 shake hands, we can term it as 12 into 2. 12 2 is a 24. So 12 2 is a 24. So either it may be 12 men or 2 women. Okay. If we make them as, if we write simplify as 12C2 and 2C2, we get a 67. Obviously 60, next 67. If there are 12 men and 2 women, 67 hugs has to come. So that is not in the option. And again 24. If we make it as 8 into 3, 8 3 is a 24. 8 men and 3 women. And if we simplify it as 8C2 and 3C2, we get 31. Okay, 31. So 31 hugs. That is also not in the option. And again, this 24 can be written as 6 into 4. 6 4 is a 24. 6 men and 4 women. Okay, this 6C2 and 4C2. And if you simplify, we get a 21. So 21 is there in the option. So again, so 24 shake hands and 21 hugs can be done. Okay, so for the question number 74, the answer is C, 21. So next, coming to the question number 75. 2 men, Anil and David, and 2 women, Shabnam and Rekha, are in the sales group. Only 2 speaks Tamil, the other 2 speaks Marathi. Only 1 man and 1 woman can drive a car. Shabnam speaks Marathi and Anil speaks Tamil. So both Rekha and David can drive. Okay, so here the statement is, first coming to the explanation part. I have clearly written all the things. So Anil, David, Shabnam and Rekha, these 2 men and 2 women. So they are in the sales group. Okay, and in the question it is given that 2 speaks Marathi and 2 speaks Tamil. We don't know who all are there. And only 1 man and 1 woman can drive. Okay, so Shabnam speaks Marathi. So in front of Shabnam, I have ticked near Marathi. And Anil speaks Tamil. So Shabnam speaks Marathi and Anil speaks Tamil. Both Rekha and David can drive the car. David and Rekha are able to drive the car. So among the statements, both Tamil speakers can drive a car. No. Both Marathi speakers can drive a car. That is also we cannot assume. Both of those who can drive a car can speak Marathi. Both of those who can drive a car can speak Marathi. Here Marathi, only Shabnam is speaking. No, that also we cannot consider. One of the 2 One of those who can drive a car can speak Tamil. So one of those who can drive a car can speak Tamil. Okay. Sir, who are driving? David and Rekha are driving the car. And so with this statement, we can conclude that David speaks Tamil. Anil and David, both two are men. They are speaking Tamil, and Shabnam and Rekha, they are speaking Marathi. Right? So for this question number 75, we can conclude option D is correct. Okay. And coming to the question number 76. In a plane, line X is perpendicular to line Y and parallel to line Z. So if you look at the picture, line X is perpendicular to line Y and parallel to Z. Okay. Next, line U is perpendicular to both the lines V and W. So U is perpendicular to V and W. Next, line X is perpendicular to line V. Line X is perpendicular to line V. Okay, so by reading the statement, I have drawn the lines. So finally, this thing has appeared. Now, which one of the following statement is correct? ZUW are parallel. ZUW, no. XVY are parallel. XVY, no. ZVU are parallel. ZVU are all perpendicular to W. ZVU. Only Z is perpendicular, right? ZVU. Z and U are perpendicular. V is parallel. So coming to the option D, YVW. YVW are parallel. Yes. Okay. So with this picture, we can conclude that YVW are parallel lines. So for the question number 76, the answer is D. And coming to the 77th question. A cow costs more than 4 goats but less than 5 goats. So a cow costs more than 4 goats but less than 5 goats. So if you look at the solution box, C indicates cow. It is more than 4 goats and less than 5 goats. Okay. And if the goat costs between 600 and 800, if the goat is at a 600 and 800, which of the following is most valid conclusion? So a cow costs more than 2500, a cow costs less than 3600, a cow costs between 2600 and 3800, and a cow costs between 2400 and 400. So here, if you multiply this 5 into 8, so I have written this 800 greater than goat greater than 600 because 800 is a maximum number, right? So that is the reason we have written in the first. So 8 5s are 40. So that is 4000. And 4 6s are 24. That is 4 6s are 24. That is 2400. So a cow cost between 2400 and 4000, right? So with this, we can conclude the 77. The option is D. Okay. With this, for the 77th question, we can conclude the option D is correct. Okay. Next, coming to the 78th question. A society consists of only 2 types of people, fighters and cowards. Okay. A society consists of 2 types of people. That is fighters and cowards. AEFR and 2 cowards are always fighters. So a society consists of 2 types of people, fighters and cowards, and 2 cowards are always friends.
So 2 cowards. Cowards means nothing but not brave people. Fighters are fighters, and cowards means they are not brave as fighters. So cowards and fighters. And 2 cowards are always friends. Okay. 2 cowards are always friends. So if the solution box I have written, cowards are always friends. A fighter and a cowards are always enemies. So one fighter and coward is always enemy. Next, uh, fighters are indifferent to one another. So fighters are indifferent to others. Okay. Next, if A and B are enemies, A and B are enemies. Who are enemies? A and B are enemies. So we can conclude one fighter and one coward. Okay. A is a fighter and B is a coward with this statement from the above statement. And C and D are friends. So in the question it is given that friends, who all are they? 2 cowards are friends. So C and D are friends. 2C. C is a coward and D is also a coward. Okay. Next, E and F are indifferent to each other. E and F are indifferent. Okay. Next, A and E are not enemies. A and E are not enemies. Not enemies means A and E are not enemies. Okay. While A and E are not enemies. While B and F are enemies. So who all are enemies? One fighter and one coward. So one fighter and one coward is enemies. So from this statement, since A is a fighter. Okay. With the statements, A is a fighter. From the above statements, we can conclude that A is a fighter and E is also a fighter. Okay. With the statement, we can conclude A and E are also fighters. Since they are not enemies, they are fighters. Okay. So from the above statements, which are the following statements are correct? BCF are cowards? No. AEF are fighters. If you look at the solution box last, AEF are fighters. Yes. And C, B, E are same category? No. A and F are different categories? No. So with this 78th question, we can conclude AEF are fighters. Simple thing, what I have done is, I have clearly written the statements. So if you again go through the question, you will be able to understand. Okay. So for the question number 78, the answer is A, E, F, which is B. Okay. And coming to the question number 79. Coming to the question number 79. So in a box of marbles, there are 3 less white marbles and in the box of marbles, there are 3 less white marbles than the red ones. Okay. In a box, there are 3 less white marbles than the red one. And 5 more white marbles than the green ones. So if you look at the solution box, white marbles, so in that red marbles less than 3. 3 less white marbles are there. So white marbles are less than 3 that of red marbles. And in the second statement, and the red ones and 5 more white marbles than the green ones. So in the green marbles, with the green marbles, there are 5 white marbles. Okay, more. So if there are the total of 10 white marbles, so totally 10 white marbles are there. And how many marbles are there in the box? So in how many marbles are there in the box? So if you look at the solution box, I have clearly explained. So we can write this as a red marbles. So totally red marbles is equal to 10 plus 3, 13. And green marbles, more no. So we have to delete it. 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. So totally we know that there are 10 white marbles. So 10 plus 13 plus 5 we get 28. So how many marbles are in the box? So in the totally there are 28 marbles. Okay. So for the question number 79, the answer is 28. In this question, it was simply given that a box of marbles, that how many are less white marbles and how many are red ones and how many are green ones. So this white marbles, he made it as less that compared to red marbles and more that compared to green marbles. So now we have to, as per the requirement, we have to delete and add the white marbles and we have to add the to the to the total marbles. So by this we get 10 plus 13 plus 5, we get the answer 28. So for the question number 79, the answer is 28. Next, coming to the question number 80. Candidates in competitive examination. Okay, candidates in competitive examination consist of 60% men and 40% women. Okay, 60% men and 40% women, and 70% men and 75% women cleared the test. So the test is consisted 60% and 40% women. Okay, in that 70% men and 75% women cleared the qualifying test and enter the final test. Who entered the final test? 80% men and 70% women. Okay, now with the statements, what we have to conclude? Success rate of highest rate is women. Overall success rate is below 50%. More men clear the examination than women. Both A and B are correct. So first we have to calculate the men's percentage and women's percentage. Then we can get an answer. So coming to the men, 100 into this first competitive examination, 60% men and 60% men it was consisted, and 70% men cleared the exam and 80% men entered into the final test. So here I am only separating the men's percentage. So 100 into 60 by 100, 70 by 100, 80 by 100. This 60 percentage I have written as other term 60 by 100. So if we simplify, we get 33.6. And coming to the women's percentage also, same thing, 100 into 40 by 100, 75 by 100, 70 by 100. So if we simplify, we get 21. So here men, by simplifying men, we are getting 33.6, and by simplifying women, we are getting 21%. So with this, we can conclude the option C is correct because more men cleared the examination than women. Okay, so for the question number 80, the answer is C. So next. Okay, thank you. With this, we have completed the 80 questions. I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.